MacBook Pro vs MacBook Air comparison, build, design, portability, price. The differences here are small but may be significant. Both MacBook Air and MacBook Pro are stunningly built and finished devices, but the 2014 11-inch MacBook Air is 490 grams lighter than the lightest Retina MacBook Pro, at 1.08 kg. While the MacBook Air gives the impression of being slimmer, it's still 1.7 cm at the thickest point, just a millimeter different. The 2014 13-inch MacBook Air model is probably a fairer comparison, and that weighs in at 1.35 kg, just 220 grams less than the 13-inch MacBook Pro with Retina. The 2014 13-inch MacBook Air weighs the same as the 2014 model. Let's take a closer look. The MacBook Air is the ultimate ultra-portable laptop. It has a beautiful unibody chassis that's just 18 mm thick. This is rigid, exceedingly tough, and impeccably finished in satin sandblasted aluminium. Expect Apple's usual high quality. The MacBook Air weighs in at a swallowable 1.35 kg. Switch to the MacBook Pro and you get a good selection of ports around the chassis, with Thunderbolt now at version 2. Unfortunately, the HDMI output looks to be set to the older HDMI 1.2 standard or below, as we still couldn't get any better than 1920 x 1200 pixel output through this port. This won't be an issue when connecting to Full HD televisions or projectors, but it does mean you need to use a valuable Thunderbolt port to connect a high-resolution monitor with, e.g., 2560 x 1600 display. You can expect the same quality of design and finish as with the MacBook Air, but in a marginally larger and heavier chassis. The 2014 13-inch MacBook Pro with Retina display is 50 grams lighter than the 2012 Retina MacBook. It's now just 1.57 kg. As we said, marginal. The 2014 15-inch MacBook Pro with Retina display is a bit heavier than the 13-inch, at 2.02 kg, but the same weight as the 2012 model. Both models are just 1.8 cm thick. These are not big laptops in any respect other than workspace, and we consider the MacBook Pro to be an ultra-portable just the same as the MacBook Air. The MacBook Pro with Retina display benefits from an incredible 2880 x 1800 pixel IPS display, configured in high DPI mode to look like the 1440 x 900 layout of every 15-inch MacBook Pro since 2006. Ports around the chassis are the same: 2 Thunderbolt 2, 1 USB 3.0, audio headset jack with Toslink digital audio, and MagSafe 2 power connector all to the left. Simply, if absolute portability is your thing, you may wish to opt for the MacBook Air. But you won't curse lugging around a MacBook Pro. These are all super portable PCs. There's a hefty premium for the top model MacBook Pro over the entry-level £999 13in Retina MacBook. The top spec 15in Retina MacBook Pro will set you back £1,999. The extra £1,000 will buy you an Intel quad-core processor with built-in Intel Iris Pro graphics, compared with the dual-core Intel processor with Intel Iris graphics. The baseline clock speed is up to 2.8 GHz for the dual-core and 2.5 GHz for the quad-core. Choose from 8 GB RAM or 16 GB, and up to 1 TB UPSI-based flash storage. Can the MacBook Air compete? You bet it can. The mid-20134 of the MacBook Air has a 1.4 GHz dual-core Intel Core i5 processor. It's worth noting that this dual-core chip still includes hyper-threading to process 4 concurrent threads, and will also dynamically overclock to twice its rated speed, 2.7 GHz in turbo mode. While Intel talks of its Core i series chips' baseline speed and their turbo peak speed, One could also view this processor as a 2.7 GHz part that runs predominantly underclocked at half its baseline speed. There's 128 GB PCI-based storage as standard across both 11.6 in and 13.3 in models. Our verdict: the MacBook Air might be the cheapest option, but it's still worth considering paying just £150 more to can get a lot more power and features from the MacBook Pro with Retina display. However, you might prefer to keep your £150 and spend it on an external monitor so that you can hook your MacBook up to a second display. It really does boil down to your requirements. You are unlikely to be disappointed either way.